We got work to do.
Welcome to Highway to Hell, a supernatural podcast. I'm Kristen,
And I'm Christine.
and this week we're coming back, well, for a little taste, a little flavor
If you
between
will.
between our lengthy hiatus to discuss the pilot episode. This being 2020, we've seen 5 seasons already, and just rewatching it.
And we've been very quiet, so this is just a good reminder that we're still here.
Yeah, we've been kind of absent from the podcast for a little bit. Although funnily enough, we tried to record this episode about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we had like terrible technical difficulties, and we just gave up because it was
just gave up. It was
I think it was like 2
really
hours of
difficult.
just clicking buttons. Yeah.
And being frustrated, and it's like, fine, forget it. It's not meant to happen today.
Yeah. And so I think also the events of our lives and our, careers and family and home life just also told us like, okay, this is not happening right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think we're kind of a little bit out of the storm. There's some, crazy things happening. Christine, you're trying to buy a house right now, which is really exciting. Entering
Thanks.
another development in your life, another phase, which is awesome.
Totally. And I know that sounds like really insane to do right now, but weirdly, guys, if you're looking to buy a house, interest rates are like the lowest they've been in a very, very, very long time. So it's actually a really good time to buy and get that locked in. Or if you already own a home, to refinance, do that. Do that right now, and save yourself a lot of money in the long run.
Yep.
So that's kind of the idea behind that. And we've been saving up for a while anyway, and we've been thinking about that for a pretty long time. And so it was like, okay, whatever. I guess we'll deal with this during COVID times and, get a good rate. But it's
Yeah.
super exciting. We'll see how that goes. If all goes well with this one that we are about to go under contract with, yeah, we'll be moving at the beginning of September. So fingers crossed.
Wait, can you hear me? Oh no. Okay, you're back.
You're back too.
Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus Christ. No.
What the fuck was that?
Oh God, this episode is cursed.
We are cursed. No.
Oh, I got to go. It's fine. You're back. We're back in business. No, I was just saying, like, just you've been staying in some lovely homes since you've been back from Austin for a while now, and
Yeah.
it's just, but it's also just going to be so exciting to have your own home and make it your own and do whatever you please with it.
Oh, yeah, for
And
sure. I mean, I can't tell you. Y'all know who rent. Like, you look over and there's so much that you would want to change, but it's not your house. It's not your
yeah.
place. So, yeah, it'll be really great to be independent like that and have our own place to paint and change up and do whatever we want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think, well, and then in other news, I know that they made an announcement that they will be continuing shooting season 15 of Supernatural, the final season. And there were some other like news about like how they're going to be going about it. They're going to make it like a big event now. And like, I didn't read too much into it because I didn't want to get any spoilers, but everyone's very excited, of course, and it seems like it's going to be pretty awesome. But I think that's getting started up now and to premiere in September. But we're obviously still very far off from that, but it's just exciting to hear, just
Yeah, it's a big
from the
deal.
grapevine. So things are kind of slowly getting back to normal now, very slowly, very cautiously, but we're still staying safe and working from home actually, and
Mhm.
baby's just getting bigger and bigger every day. Um,
Yeah, she is. I can't believe it. She keeps posting all these videos and pictures, and I'm like, "What happened?"
yeah, it's insane. I can't believe it's already been 8 months, and
Yeah.
she's almost almost gonna start walking pretty soon, I think.
Dude, you're doing it. You're like you're like being a mom.
I know it's a little bit scary, but it's you oftentimes I think I still get like, am I doing this right? Like I'm definitely having those moments right now as we're like starting solids, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, is this okay for her? Is this
Yeah.
too, like, so I'm having that moment right now where I'm like, I don't know, is this okay? Can she have this?
Am
And
I being a bad mom?
am I being a bad mom? Exactly. That's definitely, but I think that's normal. I think,
No, exactly. That's probably, like, the healthy question that every mom asks themselves that makes sure that you're being a good mom, you
right.
know?
Exactly.
I think you're doing great. It's awesome. It's
Oh,
going as well
thank
as it possibly can, it seems like.
yeah, it's going pretty well. I lucked out. She's not a little devil baby like Sam, She's
Oh, no, yeah.
quite sweet.
I told Kristen that, hers is the only baby that makes me not scared to have a baby, 'cause she's just so cool. Like, I can tell that she's just, like, super determined. She's got this great sassy personality,
So
and
sassy. Yeah.
yeah, she's just got so much personality already from very early on. Like, I could tell when I first met her as a little baby worm. I was like, "Okay, girl, you're not gonna let anything stand in your way."
Yeah, she was already kind of like, if you did something that she didn't like, she would get really sassy, and she's also super active. So even as like a little one, she would prefer us to sit her up, even when she couldn't sit up on her own, because
Mhm.
she
She's
wanted
like,
to be like, yeah, looking around. And so she's the same way. If we're like holding on to her, she pushes us because she wants to be like crawling around and standing on her own and things like that. So,
She's an
uh,
independent woman.
oh, yes, she is. I'm so proud of her.
She's gonna be just fine.
She'll be good. She's gonna be a force to reckon with. So,
Ah,
but yeah,
damn
I
it,
think
you
I
went out
think that's
again.
the main updates that we have. Did I miss anything there? Hmm. I know we've gotten quite a bit of new followers and new listeners, so welcome all of you. Um, Thank you for listening, and that's been really great to see that response on Twitter, especially as we've been kind of taking a break and staying very quiet. But there's still a lot of activity out there in the supernatural universe, and so that's awesome. Um, but yeah, we're going way back, and going all the way back to season 1, going all the way back to the pilot episode, and
Yes, the origins.
furthermore, going back to one of our very first episodes, which was a fascinating listen for me.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear these clips that you pulled.
Yeah. So what I've done is I pulled just a few clips from our episode, our initial episode to discuss the pilot. Just because I was curious to see what our take was, first off, and then also just curious to see, like, how did it go? And Jesus, like, I mean, me especially, I just did not know what the hell I was doing.
Well, none of us did. None of us knew what we were doing. We have really had to, figure it out as we go. So thanks for
Yeah.
sticking with us if you've been here for that long because you really had to get through some rough episodes where we were learning.
Yeah, I think I've told you, Christine, that I've thought about like putting a little bit of a disclaimer at the beginning of those
Yeah.
episodes, just to say,
Yeah.
because Gilmore Guys, I'm a big fan of Gilmore Guys, the podcast, and Kevin did that with Gilmore Guys. So if because I was re-listening, and now the first episode, he talks about like, we were still figuring it out. I was still learning how to edit, and we were just figuring out our segments and this and that. So just stick with us. We get a little bit better, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's totally fair. And I feel the same way. Like, yeah, there were a few times where I forgot to hit record and we forgot to plug in our mic.
Yeah, or the sound is really bad because of that the whole time and we didn't know it until the end.
I mean, those much worse mistakes than like anything on Gilmore Guys, but that's the kind of thing. So thank you, Christine. Yes, if you guys are still around after all of that, wow, thank you so much.
We'll send you some stickers or something. Let us know.
Yeah. Um,
And yeah, if you ever want to add that to the first episode, feel free.
yeah, I think
Even if it's
I
just in
need
the
to work on that.
description. Just say like,
Yeah.
hey, everybody.
By the way, Kristen from 2020 coming at you, and
Yeah, we
things
totally
are
get better, I swear.
things are shit in the world, but they're a little bit better in the podcast world.
Yeah, it's all relative.
um so okay, so the first clip that I have is a little bit lengthier because it has our theme song, and I just kind of wanted to play it also because uh around season 2, season 3, we changed the sound of our intro. And so just kind of wanted to reminisce about how it used to sound, which wasn't very great, but um here we go. This is what our intros was for the pilot.
We got work to do.
Welcome to Highway to Hell, a supernatural podcast. I'm Kristen.
I'm Christine.
And I'm Jen.
During today's episode, we'll be talking about the first episode of Supernatural, aptly named Pilot. Oh my God.
That was rough.
I know. I did not wait for that
No.
intro to fade out or anything. I went straight for it.
Nope. And the way that we did the intro too, like, it started super quick after Sam's quote. That was so weird.
Yeah, I think I had changed that later on.
For sure.
It was stitched together. Well, and then I don't know if you remember, but the very first few episodes that we recorded, I think I played the intro live.
Oh.
So now we edit it in, and it's already kind of like
you're
set up to
supposed
fade.
to.
Yeah. I mean, I think some people like do it live. Like I think I want to say not Gilmore Guys, but like Punch Up the Jam might do it live because it's a little they always talk about like dancing to it. But
that's cute.
yeah. But like I think we did that live, and then maybe that's why I was like, okay, I need to, after 15 seconds, I need to go in and say my little thing. And
yeah, that was really, really quick.
Yeah, it was really rough. I'm talking like a mile a minute.
We were nervous, okay?
Well, but you sound lovely, Christine. I mean, I think you
doubt that.
No, I seriously, because I remember being like my heart was just beating really fast, and I was talking really fast when I was listening back to it. But you're very measured. You're very Christine. You're like, oh yeah, I'm Christine. And
well, that's because I'm a ham and I live to be on camera and in the spotlight and recorded. So
you have plenty of practice.
It was my time to shine.
Well, you shined, baby.
Like a fucking diamond. Oh God.
But this is the IMDb description that I had pulled back when we first reviewed the episode. So let's listen to this. This is just the IMDb description. Sam and Dean Winchester were trained by their father to hunt the creatures of the supernatural. Now their father has mysteriously disappeared while hunting the demon that killed their mother 22 years ago. Okay, and this episode was directed by David Nutter, and of course it was written by Eric Kripke.
Whoa, mama.
Apologies, guys. I keep on saying Kripke throughout the entire episode, and I think through most of season 1.
And then did
Like,
somebody correct us?
I don't know if somebody had corrected us or if I had finally like heard it, but
Okay.
but why wouldn't I double check that before recording? I don't know.
Novices.
Yeah.
Novices.
Ugh,
Babies.
that's rough. Kripke.
That's awesome.
I maybe I do still sound like that, but to me I sound like a little baby.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because you were talking so fast and you were just kind of nervous still. Like your voice just kind of naturally goes up a little bit when you're, nervous.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I don't think you sound like that to me now. You sound much more relaxed. And
That's good.
have your normal voice and not like, oh my God,
I worry about that at work. Like, do I sound mature? Do I sound like an adult right now?
You do. Yeah, I can confirm. You do not sound freaked out or anything.
That's good. But yeah, that's the IMDb description, and it's I don't know. I it's funny because I really, really enjoyed rewatching the episode both times because originally we were supposed to record like a month ago.
Like a month ago, yeah.
Yeah, and then I just rewatched again this morning, and both times were just lots of fun. I had lots of fun watching.
Yeah, it was really fun to go back and watch it again. And it's interesting hearing that description again because I feel like it doesn't do it justice, But I think that's maybe how we feel about a lot of them. It's kind of like this doesn't capture, I don't know, the essence of the episode that well. It just doesn't really do it justice.
Yeah. And well, and I wonder if part of it is like they can't really give away too much.
Yeah.
And of course, like I mean, watching now 5 seasons, it's like, okay, yeah, there's a lot more behind the supernatural and the dad missing and all of that. And the mom dying. But I mean, I guess if you really think about it, there's not really much that is presented to us in this episode. We don't know why the mom died, for example.
Yeah, that's true. It just sort of shows you what's happening and doesn't give you any explanation as to why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that's, I mean, I think overall, my thoughts about the episode was that it was a really great pilot. I know that's something that we talk about at the end of our first discussion. I think I posed the question, is this pilot better than the Buffy pilot? And I still kind of agree that it is. I mean, they're two different things, obviously, but I don't know. I feel like we get a lot in this one.
That's true. It sets up a lot.
Yeah.
And makes you wonder about a lot.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like mystery that's set up. And in Buffy, well, I mean, that's like a 2-parter. So they needed 2 episodes to accomplish, one storyline essentially, I think was my thought. And they kind of set up like, they're not setting up a mystery. They're just setting up a bad guy for the season. Whereas this one is like, whoa, like, why did Mary die? Why did Jessica die? Where is dad? Like, it's a lot. It's a lot to fit into one episode.
Yeah, it really makes you go like, what is happening here? This is intriguing. I want to keep watching.
Hmm. While also setting up this brother dynamic between Sam and
Oh
Dean.
yeah. Man, I can't wait to talk about that. Our I know you said you had also pulled a clip of our first impressions from that first episode we did.
Uh-huh.
Can we listen to that one so that I can keep talking about my impressions
Absolutely.
on this rewatch? Because, oh man, I gotta talk about Dean.
Okay. All right, here it is.
First impressions?
Weird.
Did you guys like it?
I feel like that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
I did like it, but it just affirmed my feelings of it being campy. I was kind of multitasking and kind of chilling on my laptop at the same time I was watching. And, but then when I actually started paying closer attention, I caught a lot of really little hilarious things and was like, okay, I should actually be paying full attention. So there were parts of it that I really enjoyed and got a lot out of. And then other parts I was like, oh, that's stupid.
Yeah. I think the first season I was doing a lot of laundry during.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
it
I
might be a
first watched it,
multitasking
yeah.
season.
That was your impression and my impression of it. Well, I didn't really say my impression of it.
Yeah, a little bit generally. Yeah, that's really interesting. It's hard for me to get sucked into things. We've talked about other shows and movies and things that I should watch and haven't. It's really hard for me
Yeah,
to.
you really yesterday you landed a big one on me.
How is that?
Well, the witches.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, case in point. There's something I haven't seen and that's like devastating for you. I'm a tough customer. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's really interesting to hear that I like to know that about myself and then also hear me give that opinion about it from the off because it's true that there were definitely times where it was like campy and they have like kind of stupid jokes, but that's kind of part of the charm, and now that I watched enough of it and gotten sucked in and done these analyses of each episode, I know that that's uh just kind of part of Supernatural, right? Like they really kind of balance the heavy with the ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, there was definitely, I think it was the line, excuse me, the classic line, driver picks the music, shotgun shuts his cake hole, that I was
Yeah.
like, wow, classic Dean right there. And I think watching it for the first time, I don't think I would have really liked that line. I think I would have been like, meh,
What are you
who's this
talking
guy?
about?
Yeah, like I don't think I would have reacted to Dean in that way. But now watching it, I'm just like, there's our Dean. He's
Mhm.
there all the way back in the pilot episode. That's definitely something that he would have said, and I kind of love it.
Yeah, for sure. Although my other thoughts of Dean were definitely like he's such an ass.
Yeah.
Like he's gotten so much better over these 5 seasons. He's not nearly as much of a scoundrel, and that's saying something because even the Dean we know now is a bit of a scoundrel, right? Like he's still down to meet the pretty girl at the bar.
Right.
Or whatever, but, oh my god, the way that he was talking to Jess in that apartment,
Was
I was
just
like,
gross.
it was gross. It was
Yeah.
super gross. I was like, "What the hell?" Like, I'm glad that he's, kind of learned what is socially acceptable and what's not for the most part.
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't pull that clip, but we reacted very negatively against Dean in this episode in general, and then specifically at that part because it was I think he says something like what because she's like, I'm gonna change
Oh,
into something a
yeah.
little bit more comfortable,
He was like, I
and
wouldn't have it or something.
yeah, like I think it's I don't know. I think it's fine what you're wearing. Like something like that. And it's
Gross.
just gross. It's like this is your brother's girlfriend. Like
He's a
you
prevert.
yeah. He definitely is. But watching it back, I think Jensen Ackles is so goddamn amazing in this. Like,
Oh, yeah. I agree. He plays that character extremely well.
yes, and he brings a lot of like what we love about Dean to the role still, like just little smirks here and there. Like when he says that
Mhm.
line, driver picks music, shotgun shuts his cake hole. I think any other actor could have butchered that line, and it would have been even cheesier than maybe how we felt at, at the beginning.
Mhm.
But he delivers the line, as if he's said it, as if it's just completely natural to him, and then he gives this like little smirk right after
Mhm.
that is just so like, yeah, that's my Dean right there, and it's so great, it's so good.
Yeah, I totally agree. There was a funny part, like, right there before he says that line where, Sam's giving him shit for his music tastes, and he's, like, pulling out all the tapes, and he's like, "Metallica, Motorhead?" He's like, "These are the gateway to mullet rock," and I was like, "Fuck you, Sam! Metallica
Yeah,
is not the
established
gateway
pretty
to
early
mullet
on
rock,
that
you shut your
Sam's just
pie hole."
not into that music.
Yeah,
Which,
so I was, like, right there with Dean.
yeah, yeah. I s- it's funny because in the beginning we were very um clear that we thought Jared's acting needed to be improved. And I don't completely disagree. I mean, I think Jared was very early on in his career. And I think he had a lot to learn. I feel like Jensen, his experience on what like soap drama was he on again? Uh
Was it Days of Our Lives?
it might have been.
I don't
Um
remember. But yeah, he was on one. I don't think it was that one.
Days of Our Lives.
It was? Okay.
Um well, I feel like his, I don't know, just his experience on that and his lengthy experience gave him the edge as far as like acting goes. And Jared still had a little bit more to do, but I think we've seen obviously that his acting has really, really, really developed. So that
Totally.
was definitely
And
interesting to see again.
yeah, it was because I guess I remember that. I know we were really harsh on him at times. But watching this one again, I wasn't bothered by it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe just
Yeah,
because I know like who he is or like how he acts now or something. Like it just seemed kind of expected. Like I don't know. It didn't bother me for the first episode.
yeah, it didn't really like, I didn't feel like it was bad rewatching it at all. I felt more just like Jensen is clearly um uh,
Kind of
more,
green.
yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
But I also think it was a lot of the writing of Sam. I think there's a lot there.
Yeah, I agree. I could definitely see that. Some of the lines were a little forced, but I don't think that's
Yeah.
his fault.
Yeah, and I kind of wished he would have been a little bit more developed. I actually okay, so like we're kind of skipping all over the place, but I think this is fine.
Yeah, whatever.
um so there's like a scene towards the beginning where like we see him and Jessica getting ready for a Halloween party, and then we go to him, or it's like a bar and everyone's dressed up for Halloween and he isn't, and she's like congratulating him for getting a full scholarship to law school, or I'm sorry, having an interview in order to get a full scholarship to law school. And that's such a cute scene. I loved that part just because she's like really sweet with him. She obviously really loves him and she's very supportive of him. Um, and of course, like if you're watching this for the first time, you're probably like, I don't care about this. But that scene is so short. I wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see more of like Sam's normal life. And I understand that we're fitting a lot into this one episode, but I think that's also why I don't really, I don't know, it's just a little bit jarring to me because it's like Sam escaped, the supernatural life for this really, really normal life. Well, I felt like I need to see a little bit more of that.
And him enjoying it and like being really set in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I noticed in that part, I had forgotten, like, we've gone through all these seasons knowing that Sam went to, was at Stanford and was going to go to law school, and he was really smart and doing well. I didn't remember how smart. Like, Sam is a fucking genius. They talk about it and they're like, yeah, he got a 174 on his LSAT. I looked it up and a perfect score is 180.
Wow, I didn't realize that at
He's
all.
all goddamn genius. And
And
he's
then,
gonna like get a full ride to law school. I was like, what the fuck?
well, and then he's treated like just an idiot by
An
Dean.
idiot. I was like, dude, he's so much smarter than you. Do you even know?
Yeah, that's so true. Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, that kind of really changes the character a bit. I mean, we know Sam is smart, but like not that smart.
I had totally forgotten.
Hmm.
Poor guy.
I kind of wish, well, I know Sam's thing is like research and he's always like the one poring over books and finding out, what demon does what, blah blah blah. But I kind of wish like we would have gotten a little kind of like season 5 Angel or like Harvey Birdman, like Sam using
Montage.
his legal prowess in all of these seasons,
Yes. Some legal jargon, like pulling out some legally blonde shit.
Yeah, like there's a big boss or like some demon that's like taking over a corporation. He's using like law to to stop him.
That'd be so awesome.
Uh
Yeah. Should have utilized that a little more.
yeah.
They have really been keeping him down.
They really have. I mean, yeah, Dean and the writers kind of made Sam a little bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And I guess I don't know, I'm sort of like because of that and seeing that again, I did sort of like think about his character differently. Like he was just this kid trying to be normal, and get away from all that, and then unwillingly thrown back into it because of this tragedy that happened to Jess. He's like kind of lost, I think, like he is so smart and was like choosing his own path, and he's being forced back into this. And I think about like some of those early episodes where he like is kind of like disillusioned and gets drunk.
Mm-hmm.
He's just lost.
Yeah, he really
It's like, this
is.
isn't what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. This isn't what I wanted. You guys don't appreciate me. I swear I'm not dumb. He's just like,
Well, and then also if you think about it, like okay, so we think about like kids who are like trying to rebel against their family, and we've kind of brushed up on this topic before, that you'll see kids, trying to rebel. They're like getting into bad stuff and running away and all of that. But like Sam rebelling is like him probably getting straight A's in school and
yeah, darn.
getting like right, and like getting this full scholarship to Stanford. And I think he's like talked about that also with Dean, like that's a bunch of bullshit, that basically that Dean and his dad never supported him when he was doing all of that, and he always felt like the black sheep, and never, boo hoo hoo, never got any love
Right.
and support. But it's kind of even more striking here because we do see, yeah, in fact he was some like master genius, and Dean doesn't give a crap. He's like, oh, what, like this interview for law school, who cares? He doesn't congratulate him
No,
at all.
he doesn't get it.
He's just like, no, this is more important, finding dad, which to a certain extent, yes, it is, because dad's missing. um but there's no like acknowledgement of his successes,
Right.
which I
Yeah.
think leads even more to him going straight the other way in rejecting the normal life, and then you know drinking and getting into like demon blood and all of that stuff,
Mhm.
um that in the Sam that we see today.
Yeah, I agree. Man, they were such babies in this episode.
Oh, I know.
That
I
was the first thing
literally
that
wrote
struck me.
down baby Dean.
Yeah, I wrote down their babies.
I feel like, I don't know, it just because I'm so used to seeing Jared that way because of Gilmore Girls, that it's not as jarring for me. But like, I guess obviously he like really grew up and everything. Um, but like seeing Jensen like that was even more jarring for me because he just, I don't know,
It's a
like
big
he just,
difference.
yeah, it really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, they really grew up. And I didn't watch uh Jared and Gilmore Girls. So it was jarring for me on both counts for sure. As soon as I started that episode, I was like, "Oh my god. I forgot how skinny they were."
Yeah, for real. It's, I mean, especially Jared can compare to, like big
Yeah.
buff
Yeah, they
Jared.
both got quite a bit beefier, especially Jared.
Mhm. Yeah,
So funny.
I know. I think the other thing that I kind of wanted to mention was this episode is quite creepy.
Totally.
Um like that first scene when, I don't know, maybe it's now also because I have a baby now also, but like when Mary goes into the baby's room, Sam's room, sees a man standing there.
It really freaked me out.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it is too, and because of that, it's obviously been a number of years now since we started this podcast and I first watched that episode, and since then I've had friends who have had kids and I've been around them and I have like a different perspective on that. But it was deeply unsettling.
Mhm. It was pretty freaky. I mean, and it just sets the tone for the episode, of course, and the show too. It just makes it seem as if the show is going to be a horror show, like
Mm,
very, very creepy. I thought, the woman in the white stuff, I've now seen it like a million times, but I remember seeing it for the first time and finding it like semi creepy, like kind of a creepy story.
mhm.
So it, just going back to it, is so jarring because now the show is like an epic. It's like actiony and drama, and it's not
Mhm.
horror anymore.
Yeah. And I could also see I had forgotten what the special effects were like that they used in the pilot. So I could also see how you got more of like a horror vibe from that because like at the end where she is kind of like crossing over to be with her children and it's like this really kind of like gory, weird effect
Hmm.
on her like I don't even know what's supposed to be happening. She's kind of like melting or burning up or something.
Yeah, it's not
Um
great.
No, it's not great, but it's so different too. Like that's not how a lot of the effects ended up being. They're not as gory.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that was kind of unexpected. I'd forgotten about that.
yeah, definitely it was. So I thought, but I thought it was very effective. I really did. And I think that was something to note too. Um, I, something did kind of creepy happen to me though, because let me see. Well, I rewatched the episode this morning, like I mentioned, but I kind of had it in my mind like yesterday. And it was funny because the baby woke up like around 4:30 or something, and I had to, go back in and feed her a little bit more and put her back to sleep. And for some reason, like the AC kicked on, and all of a sudden there was this like static sound, or like kind of a screeching sound. It was very odd. So I have like a sound machine on in her room while she's sleeping, and then it was just like this high pitch noise. And I was like, I felt like I was going crazy because it's 4:30 in the morning and I'm just like out of my
Ugh.
mind already. And I noticed that she can hear it too because she's kind of like looking around also. So I'm like, this isn't just in my head. Like, what, where is this coming from? It was freaking me out. Um, but I ended up like realizing it was like her closet door because there's like some metal on it and the air conditioning unit is like right next to her room, and that's what it was. But it was kind of creeping
Ew.
me out and kind of like
Yeah.
making me feel like, am I going crazy right now or something?
Yeah.
And then this morning when I saw the episode, I noticed like right at the beginning, she hears like a static noise over the baby monitor. And I was like, oh my God, that's what it sounded like.
Oh,
So creepy.
I don't like that.
I know. I know. Oh,
That's really freaky.
yeah. It's not those late night. I always freak myself out on those like late night wake ups or being awake in the middle of the night. Like,
Me too. Even going into the bathroom, I'm like, there's a dude waiting in my dark bathroom.
oh God, yeah, or like the ring in my mirror or something. But it's just me
Ah!
with
Yeah,
my
and I'm
hair
like,
all over my
don't look, just
face.
go back to bed.
Well, and then because sometimes I'll listen to podcasts while I, like I'll hear her, wake up and cry, and I'll just grab my AirPods and my phone so I can just keep awake while I'm feeding her.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was listening to a podcast one time. It was like the middle of the night, of course, like 3 a.m. And the person was talking about how they had lived in a haunted house.
Oh no.
And that one time her bridesmaid or whatever woke up and saw a little girl sitting in the rocking chair in her room. And I heard that while I was in my rocking chair, and I like I
Oh
like freaked out, and I like looked around as if
my god.
expecting like a little girl to be sitting on top of me or something.
Oh my god.
And I was like, nope, I can't listen to this. I was so scared.
No, yeah, that's not okay. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I don't know. I can't deal with that stuff. I get so scared.
But you listen to it all the time and you watch scary movies and
I know. I love scary movies, but then I'm terrified the rest of the time.
Oh
uh
man. Oh, I did have one more note I was gonna mention. I had just noticed. I think we may have actually talked about this a while back, but it stuck out to me this time after it being such a like major theme the last few seasons. And that was like Sam basically saying, like I want to like come back, for my tester or interview.
mhm.
And Dean was like, he said something like, you expect that you can have an apple pie life.
Mm.
And so that quote, apple pie life, showed up just recently. It's spoken again later on as it becomes more of a thing for
Yeah.
Dean. And I just thought that was really interesting that it was a line that they used in the very first episode.
Yeah, and it's so interesting that at the end of season 5, Dean ends up going into that apple pie life.
Yeah, he's the one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, the tables have turned.
They sure have, haven't they? Well, I also had one more note, and just that the line, "That Constance chick, what a bitch," still cracks me up.
That was a really good one.
I love that. The delivery. Again, the delivery is just so good. I can't, Eric Kripke may have written this, but Jensen really delivers it. I mean,
yeah, for sure. He's already putting that Dean spin on his lines.
mhm.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah. But other than that, I think those were my main thoughts about the episode.
Yeah, same.
I did, just remember, Christine, I don't know if we did want to like take a look at the ranking and see where, I mean, because right now the ranking is for the pilot episode is number 86 out of
Oh,
104.
wow.
Yeah.
It dropped very low.
Yeah. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like it should be above a lot of these. I mean, right above it is Skin and Dead in the Water. Um, I don't know. I might kind of want to put it out there like this should be higher. And I think we've kind of identified that in the past because we've talked about it like, hey, wait a second. Why is the pilot down here?
Yeah. Yeah, let me pull it up and see what else is above it. Because I wonder too. I mean, I know obviously we get hit with a lot of really good episodes,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I don't know if they're that much better around there.
Yeah, I think just rewatching it, I don't know. It feels like
That wasn't
a
so
good
bad.
episode. No, yeah. I don't know what we were talking about.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. What have we got here? Oh, like for instance, I think I liked it better than Provenance. That one's at 79.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And Roadkill. Those were all not good. Okay, yeah, I see your cursor like around Scarecrow and Nightmare.
Yeah, I'm still kind of looking up though a little bit.
I don't know though, because we get like Chris Angel as a douchebag and Monster Movie at like 64 and 63. I think those were better
Yeah, I
still in my mind.
I agree. What's because Red Sky at Morning, we had a lot of issues with that, and I feel like
We sure did. Yeah, that was a goofy one.
it really was. The kids are all right. I think we really liked. That's the one we first meet Lisa.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was a decent episode for sure. And then Hollywood Babylon was pretty decent. Dude,
Mhm.
I could see moving it up a little bit there to like the new 69.
I could definitely see that.
Let's do the pilot some justice here.
I concur. Let me, because it's just it. I'm glad we had this discussion because it really is a lot better.
Than we thought.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were a little bit hard on it. In the beginning, we were hard on season one as a whole, and I not unjustly. I think we had our opinions, and there are a lot of issues with season one. There's a lot of issues with
Sure.
season two,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's the main reason we wanted to come back and talk about the pilot again because I mean, we've been to hell and back just like the guys, and I don't know.
Yeah. You see it a little bit differently now. Actually, the only other thought that I did have about it too, thinking about it from this side, being on this side of it, We're seeing it through a whole different lens. Like, I'm watching that scene with Mary, knowing that she's a hunter.
Yes.
And it's just
Yeah.
very different. She's not just mom. She is mom of the past. And she knows what's up. And it's, she's not stupid.
And not just that, but she's met the yellow-eyed demon before. She knows, she probably, she probably knows like that had been coming, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we know that she knew that actually. She didn't know when it would come.
Yeah. So remind me when Zachariah was a big old dick and made it so that this all was still going to happen. Did he totally erase her memory of that so she didn't know anymore?
Oh.
I can't remember. Because I know he kind of like put it back to, before Sam and Dean got involved again. But I don't
It's
know if he like totally changed that too.
God, I don't even remember anymore.
Me either. But either way,
Because
it
yeah.
was going to happen.
Yeah. It was definitely going to happen. We know that Mary knew about the yellow-eyed demon. I I guess I wonder if it was not just Zachariah, but like if it was Cass who had done something like that too, or even Michael when Michael like saved um what's his name, John.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe.
But maybe I'm mixing it all up.
Yeah, I was thinking about that part where, like in the episode where they go to heaven and they're crossing into the different areas. Right, it's that one, and then they
Hmm.
come back and see Zachariah, and he kind of brings Mary in, and he's like, "No, you can't stop it because I just, like, undid all of what you did."
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember.
Here, I'm gonna try to look it up because I know our listeners are like yelling at us right now.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, calm down, I'm sorry. We have
I
Google.
know. Um,
We just like to sit here and wonder aloud, okay?
it's a
And
lot
not
more
look it up.
fun. It's a lot more fun to do that instead
To
of just
just
googling stuff.
be in the dark.
um, huh.
But yeah, because like if he got rid of all of her memories about that, then I mean, I assume she still would have remembered everything about being a hunter and her family, but not necessarily that he was going to be coming back.
Yeah. So I found it here, and this was back in 1978 when Michael had possessed John and killed Anna and sent Uriel back to heaven. Michael also modified Mary's memories to remove her memory of meeting her sons as well as of the warning they gave her to ensure she would die as
There
intended.
you go. There you go. So she didn't know he was coming.
No.
Ugh.
Yeah. And
Shitty.
just
But she also, I mean, but those are the only memories he removed. So she did still know about being a hunter and all of that. So, I
yes.
mean, she's not dumb. Like she knows something supernatural is happening. This is not right, and it's she's got to get on it.
And interestingly, okay, so like oops, I hit my mic, but what I'm reading this off of says this regarding like that moment in the pilot. So she said it says um she discovers John asleep in the living room. Much to her horror, she realized that the person upstairs was an intruder and rushed back to Sam's nursery, interrupting Azazel as he fed her son his blood. This is what Mary had given him permission for in 1973 without realizing it.
Right.
So I do recall like she had given him permission to like have her son or something to that effect. But
Right.
that was back in 1973, not 1978. So she would technically not have forgotten that part of it, right?
No, I think
But
he probably would have wiped her memory of that.
to
At
make
least I
sure that
assume
it
so.
happens.
Right, because saying that she can have her son, I think implies that he'll be coming back. So
Yeah.
if Michael wiped her memories and she wouldn't know that Azazel would be coming back, I assume she wouldn't remember the promise that she made,
Yeah.
which is
That's
fucked up.
crazy. I know. Well, and it also just, yeah, you're right, where it just like puts a whole new perspective on Mary.
Mhm.
And her look, like maybe there's more to that. I mean, maybe not what they had given the actress, because they're so obviously working it out. We saw that with the end of season 2.
Right.
But
But we can sort of impose that.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that there's a little bit more there. Fascinating.
Yeah, crazy man.
Oh man. Well, okay, so I know at the very end of this episode, I had asked both of you, you and Jen, like what your predictions were, for the season, for the show, where it would kind of go, where's John, what happened to Mary, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you had much to say, but I did want to cut Jen's crazy predictions because she was like spot on a bunch of stuff.
Jen,
Okay.
make your accurate predictions.
Oh my gosh. So just so y'all know, this was the first episode I've ever seen. So if this is right, I'm a genius and know how to crack the code, the Da Vinci Code.
She's got ESPN or something.
So I think they're either gonna go through the whole season just trying to trace their dad, and then it's season finale, they're gonna think they find him, and then they're not. They're just gonna find like a really big clue. Then in the other seasons, I'm just predicting that they're gonna end up finding like either a distant like brother or cousin or something, and then he's gonna like join them.
In the other seasons?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can see that happening.
Interesting. Long lost brother?
Yeah, or
What
like a
the fuck?
distant
Brother from the other
cousin.
dimension that their mother went to?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, yeah. Because that's one of your predictions.
Yes.
Or like the
Yeah.
dad's gonna have like a brother that's like their uncle. I don't know. I just feel like someone's gonna join them. Like it's not always just gonna be them two, because then I feel like it could get really stale.
Okay.
Yeah. And and I also thought if they do go like the whole Buffy route, that what's his name? Dean is gonna get into hard drugs. And then Steph is gonna have to have an intervention and bring him back. He's gonna get like
She
two
was-
into ghost
oh my
hunts. He's
God.
like,
Oh my
bro,
gosh.
Yeah.
you gotta take him back.
So you're saying Dean is going to get into hard drugs?
Yeah.
Or some form of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Sam
not
like catches him in the
drugs,
bathroom and they
but-
have a moment and it's really upsetting.
Very interesting.
Or just two into ghost hunting where it's not even moral anymore. Like a human's gonna get in the mix and like fuck
like
everything
fate
up.
vibes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I forgot how close she got.
Yeah.
Holy
Dude.
shit. So she's a genius.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't Dean, it
Exactly.
was Sam. But that last part about the humans, that was Dean's struggle for a long
Uh-huh.
time.
Yeah, the whole black and white with
Yeah.
Gordon.
God damn.
Right. And then the whole drug addiction thing that comes from Buffy Willow's, addiction to magic in season 6. And so it was so funny when she said that, and you can kind of hear me go, very interesting. So you think Dean is going to be the one.
Yeah, I noticed you said that. So you think Dean is going to be in Not Sam?
Yeah. Well, because look at baby Sam. Who would think that he would get addicted to demon blood of all things? And
Poor baby.
I know. I know.
That is really crazy. And the
Yeah.
brother thing.
Yes. Yeah. The brother thing. So,
That just blew my
um
mind.
oh man. But yeah, I mean, I think, now start thinking season 5 ended pretty well, not too definitively, just because we see Sam or whatever is
Yeah.
in Sam, or whatever that body is, looking at Dean in his little happy what is it called, applesauce life.
Apple pie. It's applesauce life. You've been thinking about purees too much.
I actually just fed her applesauce like an hour before this, so maybe that's, yeah, I was thinking about that.
Oh, you've got purees on the mind.
But I don't know. We'll see. Like, think about
Yeah.
what season 6 will bring. And have you seen the first episode yet?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did
okay.
watch it.
Okay.
I'm
All
not gonna say
right.
anything.
Yeah,
I need to
let's
watch it
save
again.
it.
Yeah, I need to watch it again too before we talk about it again, because that was at least a month ago.
Yeah. Well, we'll get those thoughts in our next episode, which is gonna be obviously about season 6, episode 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh
I'll be
man.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Onward.
Onward we will go. So I think we briefly talked right before recording, and agreed that we'll be back at you guys come shit. I already forgot.
I think. Are we doing August 31st? Is that Monday?
Okay, yeah, that's what we had said. Yeah, Monday, August 31st. So
Okay.
that's when you'll be seeing us back on the airwaves, the podcast waves, with season 6, episode 1. But I'm excited to get back into it. I think rewatching the pilot, having this discussion, just like recording with you and hanging out with you, has kind of like refreshed me.
Yeah. Same. It's been nice. We haven't done this in so long.
I know, and I'm really excited to get back into Supernatural. The break was nice. It was a good mental break from, the podcast and everything. But I mean, I'm so excited now.
Yeah, awesome. It was very much needed. It's been a tough summer, but we both really enjoy this, so I'm excited to get back into it too and keep it going. I've
Mhm.
missed it.
Me too, and we've missed you. We've missed you
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
So I think that's pretty much it. That's all we had. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing our initial thoughts about the pilot episode and our updates. But
Yes, reflections.
mhm. But I guess until next time, we'll see you on the highway to hell. Bye.
Bye.